Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. Celtic defeated on penalties against Karat Almaty. It felt good an hour ago. Hell, it feels the same right here, right now. It feels great. I'll take as much joy from this as I can, because the more I'll probably be back to depressed land. But anything to add, Jambo Bear? Good night? Great night? Not a great night for the coefficient, may I add. Here, is it the worst result in Europe for a Scottish team ever? Across 2 legs? Is it worse than Progress Niederkorn?
Could be like...
I think it is. You want to know why? Because let's not pretend that... Even if you think Kairat and Progress Niederkorn are similar, which I don't think they are, Rangers... The Rangers of 2017 and the Celtic of 2025, the gap is monumental. So for me, this is the worst result.
Aye, it might be.
Is that all you've got to say?
Fuck, what do you want me to say?
It might be. Add a wee bit more, Jambo Bear. Go ahead. We know you want to. Aye, it might be. Is that the fucking insight I've got here?
What do you want me to say? 0-0. Scottish coefficient down the drain.
You need your Weetabix, mate. How about that? Anyway, Scottish coefficient down the drain. Let's see what Celtic fans have got to say about it. Well, I say Celtic. Borat. Do you like Borat? Do you like those movies?
No, I never watched them.
Never watched them. Brendan doesn't look too happy, man. He's looking at his Rodgers, and it's not looking good for him. Look at that. 315th in the world. And I don't even know if that's been updated or not, but crazy.
He's looking down at his ties if it was a mistake to wear it.
His wee Gucci belt, he's finding it funny. All these Borat memes. I tell you what, is there any Celtic fans in here? We might be bad, but yous are fucking pish. Yeah, that's a decent wee thing there, right? Genuinely don't care what any other cunt says. If he loses on Sunday to those cunts, then get Rodgers sacked. Fucking disgraceful. Fuck the board and all. Right, does Brendan Rodgers deserve sacked if Russell Martin beats him? Actually, you know what, I'd argue if Russell Martin does beat him.
No, but he deserves criticism, like he doesn't deserve sacked. These people are entitled bastards. Honestly. What? Drawing 2 games in Champions League qualifiers and then losing against your biggest rivals is worthy of being sacked? Grow the fuck up. The bastards think they're entitled to win every single trophy in the world. Sick of this shite, man.
Here, they can't win a European knockout tie. And obviously, I mean, this isn't, it's not knockout really, but it's a qualifier. They can't really do them. They don't tend to get them over the line. I bought chairs for everyone who came to read the comments. There's a lot of chairs. Every single player should hang their head in shame. Get Rodgers and the board to fuck. Rodgers getting pelters. It's not just the board tonight, it's Rodgers. And you know what? I welcome that. Because how can you blame the board for the way Celtic set up against Karat? Where's the guarantee if they spent 20 million they'd be through?
I mean, I said it for the last couple of years. I've said it time and Ange was way better than Rodgers. Not even close, in my opinion.
Rodgers, he was better than... Yeah, he was.
But of course, people are going to favour Rodgers because he's the current manager and whatnot. But Ange was a way better manager for Celtic, and his team was a far superior, and they played a better style of football as well.
Yeah, if Celtic bombarded this team over 2 legs the way Ange tended to, I think they'd be through. I don't think. I know they'd be through because this team... I mean, Celtic is very lacklustre. I think in large periods of these two legs, it's kind of like watching Russell Martin.
Also, I mean...
Bogging.
Rodgers is to blame. Kyogo was happy at Celtic when Ange was there. Rodgers was the one that came in and pretty much started playing Adam Adair up front and splitting the game time between them almost 50-50. Rodgers was the one that spent the $9.5 million on Adam Adair. He's the one that brought in Arnie Engels. Money has been spent. Rodgers just hasn't spent it wisely.
Yeah, now you look at all his signings since he walked in the door.
Rodgers spent more than Ange.
Yeah, but no, look at all his signings since he walked in the door. Who's honestly hit the ground running? I mean, yeah, Kasper Schmeichel, right? He's been in that position since he walked in.
The only guy that's the only Rodgers signing that has done anything is Kuhn. And Rodgers came out and said he didn't want him.
Yeah, he did say that.
Rodgers said, I don't need another winger. So the only signing that has been brought in, I would say over Rodgers is maybe Luke McCowan as well. I mean, maybe give him a little bit of credit. But yeah, I mean, If the only signing that's really come in and been a massive game changer under the Rodgers era would be Nicholas Kuhn, a guy that he didn't have a say over, a guy that he didn't pick to sign. It's like, you know what? Can you blame the board? Maybe they don't want to give this guy money to spend because he's proven that.
That's what Chris Boyd said.
He's proven that he doesn't spend it well. I look at who Ange brought in. I look at who Rodgers brought in. To me, Ange brought in far superior players at a much cheaper rate as well.
Taking a leaf out of Chris Sutton's book, Red Fan Loyal, good point for Celtic in the end. Potentially. Declan says you need to refund every single fan that made that trip. Are they going to do that? Probably not. I've seen something that if they went through, someone said they should give everyone that travelled over there like free Champions League tickets for the season. Well, that's out the window.
Only sing when they're winning, like.
They do. Do you feel anything for the people that travelled over there?
No, because you know what you're getting into. You know how long it is. And you know that there was a good chance that Celtic might not actually win and come through the ties, so...
And they didn't, so get it right up every single one of them that travelled. Flash score, if it's any consolation, the Europa League anthem is a banger. It is. Started this video. I prefer the Europa League theme. Nah, I'm not going to sit here and say I want to play in the Europa League, because guess what, guys? Tomorrow, Rangers are going to beat Club Brugge, and they're going to... Well, what happens if Rangers get into the Champions League?
Bit of meltdown in the green side of Glasgow.
The brilliant. You're shit. Absolute shite. Arsehole shite bag. Crimes convicted of... Yeah, I mean, Celtic team getting blasted. I tell you what, Dyson Maida's getting a load of pelters, isn't he? Do you agree with the Dyson Maida pelters?
Yeah, well, people have unrealistic expectations. Maida's a good player, but last season was his standout season. It will probably be the best season that Maida has in his entire career, and people just expect him to replicate that. It doesn't always work that way. Maida's a good player who had an amazing season, and now people just expect him to be amazing all the time, when, truth be told, he's not.
Now, what was it Hugh Keevan said? He said that what the Celtic board have done is an act of betrayal.
He's not even better than Kyogo. As a centre forward, he's not. I don't know how he gets picked for Japan over Kyogo. I really don't.
Well, he does, but what do you make of that? But act of betrayal, Hugh Keevans? Is it that bad?
He's got an agenda. I'm not too sure what it is. Maybe he just wants to get clicks and sell papers and shit like that. But
he was booted out at Celtic Park decades ago. I think he's feeling that.
But yeah, he's obviously still bitter. Because the guy talks for an act of betrayal. Bringing doubles and trebles every single season. Spending the most amount of money in the league every single season. Producing players that can get sold for 20 million plus every season. You know, winning games 5-6-0. That's an act of betrayal.
Brendan Rodgers, like Liam says,
if that's an act of betrayal, then what the fuck are every other board doing in Scotland then?
Yeah. Sack Brendan, sack the board, sack Yang, Ida, and Scales. Yo, Scales is catching strays here, right? Scales is...
No, but it's the same shit, man. It's Scales, it's Ralston... It's
what did Scales and Ralston have to do over these two legs?
It's Forrest.
How's that their fault?
It's Forrest. It's Yang. It's like... And I'm not saying that Forrest and Yang are great. They're not, but... See when Celtic are pish, they go to the fringe players, they blame the fringe players.
See Scales and Ralston, right? Yeah, Ralston came on 30 minutes into the first leg.
They kept clean sheets, both legs.
Yeah, so what else can they do?
So,
are we expecting Liam Scales to score hat-tricks?
So if you want to be blaming someone, I think you should be blaming Captain Kalmack. I think you should be blaming Maida. The people that are known as like the traditional game winners.
The game
for
changers.
Celtic. See if this was see if this finished like 5-0 on aggregate to Karat, or even if it finished like 4-3 on aggregate to Karat. I mean, you could look across and you could go, just shows you that defence isn't cut out for Champions League. Liam Scales, not a Champions League player. Ralston, not a Champions League player. And I don't necessarily think they are Champions League level, but here, this is a qualifier. This is a playoff against the Kakistani champions. They're definitely good enough for that level. But yeah, they're not the reason they lost. How the fuck can you blame Scales or blame Ralston? You've got to be blaming the attacking players. You've got to be blaming the game winners because they didn't win the game. So for me, that's Maida. That is McGregor. That is the players you spent big money on, like Ida and Engels. Those kind of guys. You could also throw the fucking manager in there. How about that? See, instead of giving this guy a pass, why not throw the manager in there?
Well, people aren't giving him a pass. Sack Brendan. Rodgers has to go. That's a disgrace. Fuck Ida. Fuck Yang. Fuck the board. Fuck yous. Fuck off. Rodgers has to go. Rodgers has to go. Sack the board. Rodgers. I mean, the meltdown here. We predicted it. By God, is it brilliant. Fraser Campbell. The board are to blame, and I hope everyone of the season ticket holders protest against this lackey investment. Yo, imagine like there actually is like a full-blown protest outside Celtic Park over this. How pathetic would that be?
So, does that mean if Club Brugge win tomorrow, there should be a protest outside Ibrox?
If Club Brugge lose tomorrow?
No, if Club Brugge win tomorrow.
Must be, you said lose, mate.
No, I said win.
I bet my life you said lose, so am I dead then? Am I gone?
I'd say you're fucked. I'd say you're gone.
Either way, I'd say what is fucked and what is gone is Rangers' chances of progressing, but it wouldn't be the Club Brugge result tomorrow in... Yeah.
How can one fan base be so entitled to think that they should win every game and that they should qualify for every single Champions League? I'm pretty sure we heard a statistic earlier saying that no Scottish team has competed in the Champions League for four consecutive seasons.
Yep.
So, whether it be not under Rodgers, not under any other Celtic board, that has never been a thing where Celtic or Rangers have consecutively 4 times in a row competed in the Champions League group/league phase. So why all of a sudden now is it made out to be like this horrendous thing, this unforgivable act of betrayal if Celtic aren't in the Champions League every single season? I believe the board came out and they made a statement saying that their aim is to qualify for the Champions League 3 out of 5 seasons. And if they can do that, that's a success. Well, that's more than half. I would say that's pretty successful.
Yeah. And also, I mean, Celtic have been helped with that stat by being guaranteed it. It's like the first time ever, pretty much. So, yeah, I mean, it's never happened before, so...
Well, here, whose fault is it Celtic weren't guaranteed it this year? If you look at the coefficient, you can't really blame Rangers.
No.
If you look at over the last 5 years, out of the 2 powerhouses in Scotland, which team's not held up their end of the bargain in Europe? See if Celtic had a similar coefficient level to Rangers, or even if it was not as good, but it was close enough to Rangers, Celtic would be playing Champions League phase football this season because they'd be guaranteed, because Scotland would be higher up in the coefficient.
Yo, can't dispute that.
See if Celtic actually matched Rangers' coefficient over the last... Scotland would probably be 8th.
Yeah. There's a case for that.
8th or 7th, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we checked, it was like Rangers were on like 60-something and Celtic had... I think Rangers were like on 68 and Celtic had 49. Something like that. I mean, you're talking not a million miles away from half the coefficient Rangers had.
I mean, Celtic have played a lot of games this season. I think Schmeichel's only conceded 1 goal, and it was against Falkirk. So, there you go. What else we got? All to play for in the second
But
leg.
Liam Scales is pish.
Yeah. I think that's where we'll leave it, guys. A lot more comments, but I mean, it's basically just Rodgers out, and I think to demand Rodgers out is pathetic. But will Rodgers see the season out, or do you think this is a catalyst in him walking?
Nah, I think he will, because he gave his word, and I just think if he left after what happened last time, it wouldn't look good on him.
It wouldn't, guys. Anyway, that's it for Fans React. Be back very soon. Hopefully, the other teams can do better.
Plus, I think if Rodgers sees out his contract, which he will, but make no mistake about it, he will not stay beyond this season. He's gone at the end of the year, or the end of the campaign. But I think if Rodgers does stay, then he can almost leave in good terms, and I think they'll have another opportunity to come back and manage Celtic for a 3rd time when he goes and fails somewhere else. So, yeah. Whereas I would argue that if Rodgers left before the end of the season, and if he broke his word, I just don't think there would be any way back for Rodgers to have a 3rd spell at Celtic.
No, totally agree. This is Brendan Rodgers' be his last. I don't see him ever coming back. And again, I mean, it would probably take like a new board to come in, but I don't see the Celtic board going anywhere. Nor should they. All right, But I'm not expecting them to spend any more money. I believe the two sack players that they're linked with this past week will be the only two signings Celtic make, unless a loanee comes available or something. I'm not expecting them to go big, especially in the Champions League jackpot. So, yeah, we'll see how big that war chest really is. But until next time, peace.